equality and justice as we stand aside and wait for a world where peace and unity outweigh the laws of hate. Like broken glass, our children lie all scattered in the way. Rise up and raise your voices so that they might see the day. What happened to our dream? Will we ever overcome? Walk hand in hand together toward the setting of the sun. Tranquility or equality, let's opt for both today and build a culture free from sin where love can lead the way. Will you stand still while others fight a cause for which they die, to revolt against the system of deceit for you and I? What happened to our dream? Will we ever overcome? Walk hand in hand together toward the setting of the sun. What happened to the dream? We shall overcome. Walk hand in hand together toward the setting of the sun. Do you remember Biko, Freddie Gray and Michael Brown, murdered by poor men in power, but no flag was taken down? Depraved and weak with only hatred written in their eyes. Stand up in unity, to forget is to deny. What happened to our dream? Will we ever overcome? Walk hand in hand together toward the setting of the sun. What happened to the dream? We shall overcome. Walk hand in hand together toward the setting of the sun.
Thanks very much. Well, that song I started with there is one called The Dream. I wrote that song a few years ago now when I was living in the US. I lived over in Florida for like a year, and that song was inspired by the pretty tragic death of a young black man whose name was Freddie Gray, and he was killed by the Baltimore Police Department, and his killing sparked lots of riots and protests around the Baltimore area, and it was all over the news. And I wrote that song in protest and in hope that things like that would eventually stop happening in the US. And sadly, it's still going on to this day. So got a bit of work to do yet. I'll carry on with a more recent song of mine, and it's a song that I co-wrote with a great singer and songwriter from the US. His name's Tim O'Brien, and I was lucky enough to go on tour as part of the Transatlantic Sessions a couple of years ago, and Tim O'Brien was part of that. We got to know each other a little bit better and stayed in touch, and during lockdown he got in touch asking if I would be up for writing a song with him, and so we got it done all online over emails and voice notes and things like that, and it took us about a week probably. And it's a song about Thomas Jefferson's illegitimate children. After the death of his wife, he had a few children with one of his slaves, and then this song talks about a kind of chance encounter between two siblings who would have lived very, very different lives. On his death, he freed his children from slavery, and many were fairly light-skinned and could pass as is white in white society, where others were more dark and basically didn't live as good a life. So this song looks at a chance encounter between two of them. It's called "Can You See Me, Sister?"
Can you see me, sister? Do you remember me? Can you feel my presence? I'm still on my knees. Oh, I can see you, sister. Oh, how our lives have changed. I'm still here in the shadows, you're just out of range. Father, can you help me now? Chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Father, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Oh, can you see me, sister, in my shabby clothes? Life's so different from the one you know. I do not blame you, though we share a name. If my skin was lighter, I might do the same. Father, can you help me now? The chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Father, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Bought and sold like cattle, people just like us. Couldn't look you in the eye, I could be whipped or worse. Mother, can you help me now? The chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Mother, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Father, can you help me now? Chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Father, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Can you see me, sister?
Thanks very much. So that was "Can You See Me, Sister?" and it was released not too long ago with the full band. So I'll carry on with another song that I co-wrote with a great friend of mine, a wonderful singer and songwriter from Nova Scotia in Canada, and he's from a place called Pictou. It's a beautiful spot, and I was over there touring a couple of years back. I was there for the whole summer, a couple of months at least, and spent some time at his place there in Nova Scotia. And we wrote a few songs together, and this is one of them. It's a song that came from an idea that Dave Gaughan had about what happens after we all leave this place, and so what happens beyond the day. So the song's called Beyond the Day.
Will I go beyond the day? There's no good reason to be afraid. We all must stumble on the way to whatever waits beyond the day. To the shrine with candles dimmed, we may be followed by autumn's and wind. The light it flickers before it fades, and all the colours fall away. Where do we go beyond the day? Is there a place for us beyond the grave? Heaven knows, no one can say if we remain beyond the day. There's a feeling ever near, and every change comes to live in fear. Generations have felt this way, but we're together all the same. Where do we go beyond the day? Is there a place for us beyond the grave? Heaven knows, no one can say if we remain beyond the day. Fall for nothing, I fall this here. Fall where my sins everywhere. Everywhere along the road, within the sun that sets the gold. Heaven knows, no one can say if we remain beyond the day. Where do we go beyond the day? Is there a place for us beyond the grave? Heaven knows, no one can say if we remain beyond the day. If we remain beyond the day, if we remain beyond the day.
Thanks very much. Well, I'm going to carry on with another song from Canada, or by a Canadian singer and songwriter, a guy called James Keelan, wonderful. Just a wonderful artist, and I've been lucky enough to be spent a lot of time in Canada over the years and get to know lots of great songwriters from over there, and there's a real wealth of them across Canada, and James wrote this song about a forest fire, and back in 1949, I believe, and it was a pretty tragic event where 13 firefighters or smoke jumpers lost their lives, and it was a pretty important event that's still used, I believe, in some training for firefighters in the US to this day. And the song's written from the perspective of one of the survivors, who was the fire chief. It's called Cold Missouri Waters.
My name is Dodge, then you know that. It's written on the chart there at the foot end of the bed. You think I'm blind, that I can't read it. I've read it every word, and every word it says is death. So confession, is that the reason that you came? Get it off my chest before I check out of the game. And since you mention it, well, there's 13 things I'll name. 13 crosses high above the cold Missouri waters. August 49, West Montana, the hottest day on record. The forest and the dry, lightning strikes in the mountains. I was crew chief at the jump base. I prepared the boys to fly. Pick a drop zone, C-47 comes in low. Feel the tap upon your leg that tells you go. And see the circle of the fire down below. 15 of us dropped above the cold Missouri waters. I gauged the fire, I'd seen beggar. So I ordered them to side out where we'd find it from below. We'd have our backs to the river. We'd have our leg by morning, even if we took it slow. But the fire crowd jumped the valley just ahead. There was no way down, we headed for the ridge instead. Too big to fight it, we'd have to fight that slope instead. Flames one step behind above the cold Missouri waters. Sky had turned red, smoke was boiling. 200 yards to safety, death was 50 yards behind. I don't know why, but I just thought it. I struck a match to waist-high grass, running out of time. I tried to tell them, step into the fire. I said, we can't make it, this is the only chance you'll get. But they cursed me, ran for the rocks above instead. I lay face down and prayed above the cold Missouri waters. And when I rose like the phoenix, in that world of just ashes, there was none but two survived. I stayed that night, and one day after, carried bodies to the river, wondered how I stayed alive. 13 stations of the cross to mark their fall. I've had my say, I'll confess to nothing more, and I'll join them now, those that left us long before. 13 crosses high above the cold Missouri waters. 13 crosses high above the cold Missouri shore.
Thank you. That was Cold Missouri Waters. Well, I've come to my my last song, and it's a song from America that I picked up years ago when I was over there on tour with the band. We played in West Virginia in a place called Romney, and it was an old bottling works. I think it was an old Coca-Cola factory, and it was a great show. Played it a few times over the years, but this was one of the first times we visited, and after the gig we were invited to a kind of a jam session, if you like, and it was the sound engineer on the night invited us, and we went up into the mountains, into this old cabin with no electricity, just old lamps and things and candles, and lots of musicians, mostly old time kind of music, and lots of musicians, lots of alcohol as well, and one of the guys there, he sang this song, and it's a song about coal mining in West Virginia, or the demise of it. It was written by Walt Aldridge. It's called no ash will burn. So thanks very much, and yeah, hope you enjoyed.
I have seen snows that fell in May. I have seen rain on cloudless days. Some things are always bound to change. There is no ash will burn. Love is a precious thing, I'm told. It burns just like West Virginia coal. But when the fire dies down, it's cold. There is no ash will burn. And you say this life is not your lot, but I can't be something that I'm not. We can't stoke a fire that we haven't got. There is no ash will burn. Love is a precious thing, I'm told. It burns just like West Virginia coal. But when the fire dies down, it's cold. There is no ash will burn. In every life there comes a time when there are no more tears to cry. We must leave something dear behind. There is no ash will burn. Love is a precious thing, I'm told. Burns just like West Virginia coal. But when the fire dies down, it's cold. There is no ash will burn. Love is a precious thing, I'm told. It burns just like West Virginia coal. But when the fire dies down, it's cold. There is no ash will burn.